What's up, YouTube Automators? So in this video, we have a special treat. This is kind of your opportunity to be a fly on the wall and kind of just scroll YouTube with Devin and I. I honestly have talked to Devin, I picked his brain. I wanted to know, like, where did you learn what you learned about YouTube? And although he studied a lot of different things, where he really learned YouTube from was YouTube. It was scrolling through YouTube and watching thousands of videos in all sorts of different niches. And when you scroll YouTube, when you're constantly consuming viral content, you're looking at the thumbnails, you're looking at the titles, you're looking at the actual content themselves, you're looking at the video. It's almost inevitable that you understand virality. It's almost inevitable that you learn YouTube. And I've told you guys this before, but I honestly believe your most profitable action is just scrolling through YouTube. And with YouTube, it really is true that the more you learn, the more you earn. And there can be one thing that you learn, one thing you pick up just from scrolling through YouTube, where that one thing can be worth one extra viral video, which can be worth a lot of money to your channel. So we're gonna do in this video, so I'm literally gonna hop over my computer, and me and Devin are gonna have a conversation like we would if we're just literally just like on a Zoom call with you guys not even watching. We're just gonna hang out, we're gonna scroll to YouTube, and we're gonna analyze titles, thumbnails, and the actual content themselves, scroll to YouTube, and just kind of look at why things went viral, why some things didn't go viral. And we're gonna take what you already know about virality, because at this point, you fully understand click-through rate. You know how to get people to click on your videos. You're a master at titles and thumbnails. So we're literally just gonna look at titles and thumbnails and say why they went viral and why some didn't. So Devin, let's go ahead and do it, bro. Let's go and share your screen, and let's just scroll YouTube, bro.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I'm excited for this because this is honestly what I do all day already as is. So really this conversation should be honestly like what you guys do on your free time. Like this is what I get my excitement out of, what I get my enjoyment out of when I'm on YouTube. I love looking at people's videos, see what's working for other people. So that way I can implement those same exact strategies into my own business.
And dude, that's what's awesome about like doing YTA and like exactly what you do, Devin, is that you literally can just scroll through YouTube and it's profitable for you. Like most people, they're just scrolling through YouTube and they're just watching videos and wasting time. But now that people have YTA channels and they're going to be making money on YouTube, scrolling through YouTube is actually one of the best actions they can be taking. So that's what's so crazy is like how much money you make and like what you get to do in the lifestyle you get to live. And one of your most profitable actions is literally watching and going through YouTube, which is what wastes most people's time. So good stuff, bro. I'm excited. Let's do this.
Yeah. So first things first, let's go on to here. So there's this one video that really stands out to me. I had just noticed it. It has 4.7 million views, but it's 7 years old is a thing. And that's what's crazy about YouTube is like you can have a video that's 7 years old and then all of a sudden just go viral out of nowhere, which it looks like it's happening for this guy. I've never seen him before, but it looks like he has a big channel. Yeah, he has like 1.5 million subscribers. But like this guy's making videos currently, and then I bet if we go back in time, we can see that like we just saw that video that's 7 years old. Like a lot of his older content is just really working for him right now. Like he has this one video that's like 5 years old, it got 13 million, so on and so forth. So
about YouTube too is like that's what we say they're assets, because when you upload a video and you put it out there, it can go viral years from now as well. And that's one of the coolest things. Like you never know when that one video goes viral. That's why we say you're one video away, because even though you're going viral now, you can upload a video, you know, let's say yesterday and doesn't do that good right now, but a year from now, that video takes off and makes you a few $1,000s like that. So they're literally assets that can pay you at any moment. So good stuff that you brought that up.
So yeah, as we're going to scroll through here, there's going to be, I'm looking at a lot of videos, but as much as possible, whenever I'm scrolling through is I want to look for something that's like within like, let's say the last year or within the last 6 months has gone viral, because oftentimes strategies and concepts are consistently changing. So yes, this worked for this guy named Suit House 2 years ago, but it probably won't be as effective today, the strategy they use for their thumbnail and title today. So what I would want to do is find some videos of some people that are just like killing it right here, right now. And like they made a video that was able to go viral. So the first video, like scrolling through here, avoiding all these older videos, I find this video, Teddy Kittens, 2 days ago, and they have 1 million views. So let's break down this thumbnail, Caleb. Why do you think this video went viral yourself, if you were to look at it real quick?
Because look at that cat, bro. Like it's a cute cat. Like literally, it's appealing to people who literally look like. And that's one thing too is like you gotta understand. That's what we talk about, figuring out what works in your niche. Because in your niche, there's a specific type of person that watches it. So the 1 million people that clicked on this, I guarantee you, they love cats. They love kittens. So this thumbnail, like the emotion that you're trying to get them to do, if you're in this niche where you're posting pet videos, is the emotion you're trying to get them to feel is cuteness. So like, what do? They exaggerated that emotion, which is one of the things that we've been talking about inside the YTA Masterclass. They found the emotion, which is cuteness, and they exaggerate. They found the cutest cat they could possibly do. And literally like the title is super, super creative. Like that's a good angle. If it just said, if this is a super cute cat, it might get clicks. There's a decent chance it will because the thumbnail is that good and like people love cats. And it's really, really great niche. But like that title and that angle is really, really smart. This tiny kitten cured depression. Like think about what they said in there. Number one, they said tiny kitten. So it's like they could have just said kitten. This kitten cured depression, but it's like this tiny kitten, which like we always find like tiny things as cute, little babies, little kittens, and then it said cured depression. So it makes me feel like, man, after this, if my day's been rough today, after I watch this, I'm gonna end up feeling a lot better. So like they literally just took the emotion, which is cuteness and which is just like feeling good, and they exaggerated that emotion and they figured out an angle that works to people that are like that would watch videos in that niche. So they literally hit every single thing we've been talking about in the YTA Masterclass.
Exactly. Like, honestly, I couldn't have said it any better myself. And like, if we go look at this channel, like we can see that they have a lot of examples of things that were working really well. And this one video in relativity of all their other content is doing insane. And whenever you see something that just does completely like 10 times better than any other video, I don't care what niche it is. If you're doing a channel about like cactuses or something like that, you should still look at the cat channels and see what's working for them. And that like they had this other one 2 weeks ago, or this one a week ago, 4.9 million views, 1.2 million. You need to really break down, just like Caleb did, break down why each of these are getting results versus some of the other ones. Because what I like to do on top of just seeing what works really well is see what doesn't work. Like, why did this thumbnail not go 1 million views, but then this one did, even though they were uploaded on the same day? It's because I think this one, like you don't even like officially know it's a cat at first, I guess, and it's just not like a very good picture. And it's definitely like, it's kind of cute, but it's not like this type of cute. Like this looks like the cutest little kitten that you've ever seen, honestly. And this one's just like an up close shot. Like, it's a good picture. It's just not like a viral thumbnail.
We're not trying to roast the kitten. It's a cute kitten. But like that other one is a fantastic thumbnail. It's something like you immediately see and you're like, oh my goodness, like look at that little guy. Like it's hugging someone. It's hugging a head. This one just like kind of looks a little bit angry, like looking in the camera. You're more likely, once again, they exaggerate the emotion and cuteness on this one. And also, not only that, the thumbnail, even though the one thumbnail with 1 million views versus 226,000 is a lot better, one of the big differences I also feel like, Devin, is the angle. And that's one thing.
Yeah, I was noticing that too. Are you talking about the title?
Yeah, I was about to say, like it's time for dinner and playing. Like, if I've had a long day and like I'm like I just got done with work or I got done with school or whatever it might be, I'm not gonna sit there and like be like, let me click on this cat because they're like it's time for their dinner and playing. But I'm gonna sit there and says this tiny kitten cure depression. It's like, man, this is gonna make me feel better. So like the angle is a lot better. And if you look at like the ones that went viral, the main difference is the actual angle itself.
Yeah. Like this thumbnail isn't necessarily all that amazing, but it's like the long-awaited meeting of like this cat's finally meeting its son. I'm assuming, like, just off of this thumbnail title, I haven't even watched the video, but I'm assuming the parent hasn't seen its kitten yet. Yeah. And this is the first time that they're meeting up. That would be a pretty interesting thing to see.
Dude, by the way, I love scrolling through YouTube because it's like there's such a reason why things go viral. Like it's not like the reason that video went viral is like it's like a kitten finally gets to meet its dad. Like that's like an angle that's fantastic versus just it's time for dinner and playing. Like that's not going to go viral. And so like that's why we like analyzing titles and thumbnails is because that's one of the number ways you're going to learn about YouTube. Like no matter what we teach inside the YTA Masterclass, if you're not starting to see it for yourself, there's no point. Like you're not going to be learning. So that's why we talk about going to YouTube. And another reason why I feel like this channel is also good to look at is because this channel doesn't have a crazy amount of subscribers too.
No, I bet if we go back to their videos, I bet they're a pretty new channel.
Yeah, and like the reason why they have a lot of subscribers is probably because of the viral videos they've had, but they don't have viral videos because of their amount of subscribers. And that's another thing is like you want to find channels that are kind of newer and that are just now going viral and that don't have a crazy amount of subscribers. Because if you model a channel that has a crazy amount of subscribers, which you still want to do because obviously they have that for a reason, but at the same time, a lot of times they go viral because they already have built up their entire channel. But you look at a channel like this channel has only gone viral because it had a really good angle and had a really good type in thumbnail.
Yeah. This is a very new channel. Like it was started like a year ago, and then it looks like they've really gone hard recently, like probably like 6 months ago or less. And so we want to find those people that like haven't had any results until recently. And then those recent results, you can see exactly, like if we scroll back on this channel, we can go and see the one video that was able to like get them the most results, which was when I was scrolling through, it had like 600,000 views. Where was it? It was this video right here. This was the first video to go viral for this channel. Like if we break down why did this one video go viral, like this one video made the channel go from like a few hundred views, a few thousand views to like consistently where they were able to hit 100,000 views a video, or like they were able to do it more and more consistently.
It massively spiked the channel, that's for sure.
Yeah. Like it looked like they had a little trouble replicating the results again for a little bit, but then they were able to like, let's see. Yeah, they had a dry spell for a little bit all over again, but then they have like a few videos where they have like 1.8 million views. So yeah, they were able to kind of like really figure out what was working for them, and you can literally see what worked for them. It was like this video, and then a few others. So if I were you, I would figure out figure out the details as to why these videos work. Whatever channel you come across, find these videos, these key videos that the factors for these channels, and then you'll be able to see like what they're running with to get to where they are now at this day and age.
Because you're gonna find patterns, and like it's funny because we literally just saw one channel. Like you learn so much from that one channel. You see that like they were uploading consistently over and over and over again. But the reason why they started going viral is because they just had one good angle that worked, which is that one video that you're away from. But like if that channel spent more time just like looking at what works, honestly, I feel like even though they've obviously gone viral, they have just like these hits. They could do better.
They could not upload this video that only got 100,000 views.
Yeah.
Like if they avoided these few videos that did relatively bad, then I think every video would be like a 5 million view video.
See, that's the thing too, is you want to look and say, how could I even do better if I had this channel? And like, honestly, they're starting to get it down now. You notice like the titles and thumbnails are becoming more and more similar, and that's why they're getting views. But they started realizing what works for them. Like they started looking and saying like, listen, like the videos that are working, number one, it has a lot to do with kittens, like little kittens. And then something like an interesting angle, like whether it be the kitten is reunited with its dad, or whether it be what a golden kitten looks like after birth, or whether it be this tiny kitten cures depression. Like they're starting to find their angles and start to find their rhythm. But with YTA, we want you to find a lot faster than that. The way you do that is by learning from because at the end of the day, I can learn what this channel has taken a year to learn. I literally already learned everything they learned in 10 minutes. Like me and you were literally on the Zoom call. I understand everything they learned. Like there's nothing they know about running a Teddy Kitten channel about kittens that I don't know. I really believe that. And it's purely because I just, instead of trying to figure out the experience on my own, I just looked at other people's experiences. And that's a big thing too. You want to look at other channels and say, what did they fail? What took them so long? And then you can get it to where you don't have to spend years on YouTube like most people do. You can start getting results in the first month because you have years of experience, because you studied that and you've learned from that. Let's go and look at another channel real fast. Let's look at like a faceless channel, because a lot of people are doing faceless channels, obviously. Let's go and analyze like a faceless channel and kind of see why they went viral or what they could do better, and just keep scrolling, bro.
Okay. Let's see. There's a few of these I'm seeing, but they're a little bit outdated. Like this one. That one got 89 million views, which is actually insane. Here, let's actually break this one down. Why do we like this one? This is actually insane. 90 million views. This is equivalent of, I'm going to say if they had like a $3 CPM, then that means they just made about 300K on this one video. No, that's more than that. It's 3 million. Yeah, they made like $3 million.
They made a lot of money.
They made a lot of money on this one video.
And honestly, I think the reason why for this one, personally, and I would love to get your input, Devin, is like one of the things I told them inside the masterclass, I was like, listen, there's really two reasons mainly why people click. Number one, it's curiosity. So they see something that makes them curious. Or number two is familiarity. They're familiar with what they see. And like, honestly, I think because they use Vladimir Putin, which pretty much everyone knows about, right? Like people know who Vladimir Putin is. So like it's something they're familiar with. If this wasn't Vladimir Putin, this was some random person, there's no way this thing's going viral at all.
Well, this one, I think, after looking at it for a sec, this is a music video, I think.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. So really, at the end of the day, like all they did was just make a really, really good video about this one topic, Vladimir Putin. And so they just targeted this one keyword, which is a very searchable keyword. And then people are watching this video probably like 20 times and sharing it to their friends because it's so funny.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is, because I mean, they have a decent thumbnail and everything. Like it's very simple to the point, you know, like people look at it, oh, that's Vladimir Putin. And it's a cartoon.
Use familiarity and then also mixed in curiosity with it. Because like I look at it, it's not like a normal picture of Vladimir Putin. It's a cartoon, and he like is like shirtless and has his finger up. Like you automatically can tell like it's some sort of spoof about Vladimir Putin. And someone who knows who Vladimir Putin is, especially people in Russia, I guarantee the view count there in Russia.
Yeah. I bet a lot of that audience is from Russia.
Yeah, but if you saw that your president of your country like looking like that with his finger, it's gonna get your attention, number one. And then you notice it's a music video. it gets a lot of people to
Well,
click.
yeah, I mean, honestly, someone could probably just go make like a Donald Trump video or something similar to this and just kind of make it funny similar, and you probably get the same result.
You honestly would. If you literally did the exact same thumbnail with Donald Trump, it'd probably get.
Yeah, him shirtless with him pointing his finger or something. Yeah, yeah. Or him doing something stupid.
And see, that's a great way to use OPC, by the way. Obviously, that's probably going to be a niche like none of you guys do, which is music. Very few of you guys will do that. But, like, that is a great way to use OPC is, like, take that concept. You're not stealing it. Like, you're not literally doing a Vladimir Putin video and, like, literally copying the thumbnail and that exact title. But you could go take that and take inspiration from it and go create a Donald Trump music video with it looking the exact same way. You look at the psychology behind the thumbnail. You say, why did this work? Well, the fact, like, if you just do a picture of Donald Trump, probably won't do as good. But number one, it's a cartoon. Number two, he's shirtless. Like, you want to be taking the psychology of why people click on that, and you can duplicate it and take inspiration from it, and use OPC in order for you to be able to go viral, and you don't have to figure it out on your own.
Exactly. All right, so let's see if we can
That's
find
just science, dude. And like that's what's so exciting about people being in YTA is like they're gonna start to like be able to see YouTube and understand why things go viral when mainly they're just literally just scrolling through and randomly seeing stuff. Like the way I put it, it's like reading a book, but you don't know English. So all you see is just a bunch of shapes on the page. But then you learn English and all of a sudden you're able to read everything. And it's like an entirely new perspective and a new lens like to look at it. And you know what's on the page. That's kind of what it's like understanding virality. When you go to YouTube, it's not just like looking at YouTube and you see videos. You literally see virality on YouTube. You understand why things go viral and why the view count happens versus literally just kind of floating through YouTube. So people are starting to get that lens. Let's go to a face channel. Like, do you want to do something like, I always bring up the obviously Brightside because they do such a fantastic job. Do you want to look at Brightside real fast and just because like they're the top, one of the top faceless channels and just see why, like, let's just analyze some of their thumbnails because they do a fantastic job.
Yeah. I was trying to find you guys another good example, but really, truthfully, I'm having trouble finding a couple niches. Like, there's a few of these videos that are like older, like a lot of these bigger creators and stuff. But really, just breaking down like why some of these things work. Here, wait, there you go. Brightside, boom. Yeah, so Brightside is a very like consistent channel and a consistent niche. I like to look at some of their like most popular videos because I very truthfully think that Brightside is one of the biggest trendsetters on YouTube because you'll notice like a lot of the things that they use inside of their thumbnails is like exactly the same strategy that like basically everyone on YouTube replicates.
Yeah.
And like they boil it down to the basics and then these basics are replicated again and again and time again. And you can use these same strategies that they're like basically putting out there for you. So
and it's so obvious why they work too. Like if you look at it, like if anyone did, for example, you look at the 12 life hacks that can help you survive. There's a before and after. So it's basically saying in a survival scenario, you don't want to do stitches. It's saying an X, which is what people would think. They would think, okay, if I get a cut, I'm going to put stitches. But it literally has them using glue. And like you would think if you have a cut on your arm in a survival situation, you would never put glue. You would think that there's like some chemical in that. But it's like you see that thumbnail and you're like, wait a second, like I have glue in my home. If I ever get like a cut and like it's a survival scenario, like could I use glue? Like you just like, and people don't think about this logically. They don't sit there and have that mental thought process I just have, but they have impulses where like they'll have a quick thought process like that really, really fast. Because I see that and I'm curious, like, does glue work? Could I use glue to cover up a wound? Like it would work for anyone. Like and that's a common thing. If you're in a life-threatening situation, is you're gonna have a cut, and like for you to know that, like it just piques curiosity. They use curiosity. If you look at the 7 riddles that will test your brain power, like no wonder people click because it says 99% of people fail this test. Which number 1 is a challenge, so people are already like, I bet you I can pass it. And number 2 it says which line is longer, and they circle B, and it's like no way B is longer than A. It doesn't make any sense. But you click on the video and you want to find out how B could be longer. Like how is my eye tricking me? Like it literally, they literally follow something. And if anyone did that thumbnail, if anyone did that title, even if they didn't have as many subscribers as Brightside, they're going to go viral. It's just like, it's a sign.
Exactly. Yeah. As long as you provide the value in the content and you replicate these strategies with the thumbnails and the titles, you're going to get some sort of result. How big is that result? It's going to be dependent on how original like the idea is and how good the idea is of the content and how good the content is. But the best you can do for any video is get it set up so at least people are willing to watch the video. And these videos are doing an amazing job. And I imagine they're just like, once you click them, they're pretty easy to watch. You have no reason to like leave the video. They're very watchable videos. But like these thumbnails are sending them like really all the massive amounts of traffic that these videos are getting. Like this shark video right here, like, yeah, they could have done this thumbnail some sort of different way, but the way that they did this thumbnail allowed them to get 76 million views over the last couple of years. And like you said, it's just like, they're really like very much so like clickbaiting a lot of these ideas, and they're really like stretching the truth in a sense. They're not lying in any of these thumbnails in any way, shape, or form. Inside the videos, they're going to argue why these thumbnails are like, why this is true versus like why, like, for example, is line 1. I know in this video, they actually prove that line B is longer than a line A, even though obviously in this thumbnail, it's very it's inaccurate in this thumbnail, but that's okay as long as you provide the content that backs up this thumbnail.
Yeah, you got to fulfill the clickbait. That's
exactly
true.
Yeah.
And one way to look at thumbnails too is like thumbnails in itself is an angle. You know what I mean? Like there's the angle for the video. For example, 12 life hacks that can help you survive. That's a whole angle in itself. It's a fantastic angle that was obviously worth 43 million views. But that thumbnail was like almost like a niche angle under that overall angle. It was like one angle which is like you can use glue to cover up wounds. Like if people thought that that was going to get intrigued. So like when you're creating thumbnails, when you have your team creating thumbnails, by the way, once again, we're going to be training your team to understand all this stuff, but we want you guys to understand virality as well. When you're training your team, like you want them, when like the thumbnail creator, you want them coming up with unique angles, because I guarantee you if someone just did 12 life hacks that can help you survive, that's a fantastic angle. It's worth 43 million views. But if the thumbnail itself was just a picture of a tree in the forest, that video is not going to have millions and millions and millions of views. But it's the fact that the thumbnail goes along with the angle and they complement each other so well. That's why it's art at the end of the day. And it's like once you understand it, once you figure it out, once you start to get virality, it'll start to be where you literally can tell if something is going to go viral off of that. Like I guarantee you, Devin, I could show you, a thumbnail and a title, and 9 times out of 10, you can predict whether that's going to go viral or not. I can show you 2 separate and say which one went more viral, and you're going to know. Because it's not even like a specific thing. It's a feeling, and you start to understand virality and just notice like that is going to get intrigued. You know what I mean? There's humans behind the screen, and that's going to make a human click. That's the goal.
There's not one specific thing that I can point at and be like, this is why every single video has gone viral. Every video has their own like unique little perspective that they've been able to play with and been able to run with to make this viral content. But at the end of the day, like you said, there really is like, I hate to say it, but it's kind of like a gut feeling. But that gut feeling is really refined by just looking at a lot of thumbnails and just getting a good image, like a good understanding of what generally works on the platform. And then from there, you can from your own experience, you're able to come up with your own conclusion as to like, oh, okay, this thumbnail looks really good because it has like this person chubby before and then after because of this high intensity workout. Whereas like if we go onto the YouTube homepage, easily we can find some video that got like less than 100,000 views, and we can understand like this video right here. We look at this thumbnail, it's awful. Why would anyone want to watch this video? And if you're watching this, Ryazine, I am so sorry. But like this thumbnail comparison, I didn't even have to look at the views, and I knew it was a bad video.
But if Ryazine is watching this, he's not going to make that thumbnail in the future, so it's all good because he's in the YT Masterclass. He's learning, right? But that's so true to you. Is like, it is a feeling, but that feeling is backed by a foundation of like information. It's backed by a foundation of like knowing what goes viral. So like, even though it is a feeling, you can look at it and say like, oh, but that's backed by scrolling through YouTube. And what happens is your mind will even subconsciously start to recognize the patterns of virality and will start to know what goes viral just by analyzing titles and thumbnails. So it's like, yes, it's a feeling, but also it also isn't. There is such a science to it of like you can know if it's going to work because that thing piques curiosity. So every single title and thumbnail, there's no like one thing that makes people want to click. There's no like one key of like use the color green or use an X or have
or like use an arrow in a thumbnail. Like, yeah, if they use an arrow, but it's pertinent.
Anyone can do that. Like anyone can put an arrow. It's understanding what will make people click and then creating that thing. That's really what it is.
Exactly.
And I think one big thing I really want to point out is like, you want to look at viral videos, but once again, I know I've said this a million times. You also want to look at viral videos of the person went viral because of that title and thumbnail, not that title and thumbnail went viral because of that person. For example, like you see Logan Paul, you can definitely learn from Logan Paul, no question. There's a reason he's as big as he is. And I would recommend you to research and study him. But I'd also recommend, like, at the end of the day, I destroyed my best friend's Price's Art in that thumbnail. It's a great thumbnail and title for sure. But at the same time, that would go like viral pretty much regardless of anything. It could literally just be a picture of Logan Paul. And because of how big he is, it's going to go viral. So you do want to learn from really, really big YouTubers. But I also recommend learn from YouTubers that are the size of you or just a little bit bigger. And then figure out how can I – because if you model those people, if you model people who are where you're at that have gone viral and you do that, you're guaranteed to go viral as well. You don't want to like find people that went viral because they're a really big brand or really famous. You want to find people that are a really, really big brand and really famous because of their strategy behind it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Because really, truthfully, I think in my experience, what's been like the biggest eye opener for people as a general to success is when they have someone that they either know personally or they know for a fact had nothing to their name until this event happened. And then they can physically see like the actual proof that it is possible to be able to go out there and have success and have results. For example, like this is kind of like a weird, odd example, but if you had a friend that, let's say, that was like trying to get into rap music or something like that, and they try to go around like sell their CDs and DVDs around in class or something or on the streets, and then all of a sudden just one day they just had one hit song that went viral, and then now they're as big as Billie Eilish, you know what they look like beforehand. Like that story's happened probably millions of times or thousands of times at this point, where there's that guy trying to sell his mixtapes or whatever off on the streets, and then he had one song that went viral, and he's now like some pop star. And when you have that person in your life that you're able to see and recognize, like when you go through YouTube and you see those people that literally had nothing, and then nowadays, like let's say for example, Jerry Rig Everything. Like this guy's been doing YouTube for I don't know, like 5 years. But if you're watching this guy's videos on day one, they were terrible. But if you see the progression, you see the growth, and you see the real change in that person, and you see what actually physically works for that person, you yourself can go out there and replicate that exact same strategy. You know that like if you're watching this guy at day one, this guy was a goofball. He was probably no better off than you at making content. Like this guy, like he was making some videos about like July fireworks show. Like this video looks terrible. Like no wonder why it has 12,000 views.
Yeah, it's
compared
impossible.
to most of his videos have 10 million. But like if you've been watching this guy throughout time, he probably got made fun of so much for making these videos. Everyone's like, what are these videos? They're kind of stupid or whatever. But like he had the success. Like he pushed past the resistance, and he made a couple of thumbnails or a couple of video ideas that did really good. And then now, just over time, this guy has become more and more successful. If you knew this guy and you saw it happen when he went viral, then you would probably be very motivated by his story.
No,
so what
go back to his page real fast. Can we go back to sort by old? Let's find the first few videos he had that started to go viral, because I want to make an important point for everyone in the masterclass to understand. And that's basically this. Like you're going to notice on these channels, a lot of times they were uploading videos for so long and it never worked. They never went viral. They never blew up. And then you're going to notice that they did one little thing. They made one little change. They were that one video away, finally was here. Like they did that one video and it went viral and blew up. And it's usually, there's like a noticeable difference of a reason why it went viral. You'll notice. So here's what I would encourage you guys to do. I encourage you guys to go through YouTube and look at people who are viral now and go back to when they first started out and try to figure out what did they change that ended up blowing them up? What did they learn that ended up blowing them up? And then ask yourself how you can jump in there now. You know what I mean? Like, how can I, instead of having to take years to figure it out, the same way they already figured out, how can I jump right in to where day one I already have it figured out, if that makes sense? And like if Jerry Rig Everything was like modeling videos that had already worked in his niche, it's pretty much inevitable that he would have gone viral way faster. But it took him a long time because he had to do trial and error. But if you guys just look at other people's trial and error and learn from it, you guys aren't going to have to do that up front. You guys are literally day one and have videos that are ready to go viral. Number one, because you have the YTA Masterclass, and number two, because you learn from other people's experiences.
Yeah, and this guy literally, he made a video that was probably a viral trend at the time, was repairing your screen phone. And he just did this video could have been done by anybody. You could it's probably buy iPhone 5 screen repair done in 3 minutes. It's done very quick. He made a video of an iPhone and it's him replacing the screen. That video really kind of probably got his channel into the algorithm, and then he really was able to learn from that one video. But he didn't learn very quickly. He made a lot of failures after that still. He still uploaded videos that got 700 views. he didn't learn. It still took him a long time. But if you learn from if you learn from the videos that actually worked and were successful for you, just double down on what works instead of making videos about camera reviews and iPhones at the same time. Just double down on what did work, so that way you can replicate those results over and over again and really try to grow off of that one route.
Yeah, like he should have looked at that and said, okay, iPhone 5 screen repair done in 3 minutes. That works. Then, like, why would he ever upload scenic mountain river view shot with the Olympics tough, whatever? Like, why would he upload it? Like, first of all, the thumbnail isn't good. The title isn't good. The angle isn't good. Like, he should have just gone all in with what worked already. And, like, you notice he starts doing that, and then he starts getting results again. So it's like, what you want to do is you want to find other people and figure out what worked for them. You're going to go to your niche and look at where they started out. Like, literally track back to where they first started and say, what with people in my niche caused them to go viral? What caused them to start to win? And you just want to jump in where they started winning, not where they started. And that's the biggest thing. We want you guys to start out the gate viral ready. And if you looked at Brightside and you saw what they were doing in your first video, the thumbnail and the angle and the actual content itself is up to the par of Brightside, then I guarantee you're going to go viral extremely, extremely fast. Actually, I'm curious, what is the oldest content from Brightside?
I know, I was about to do that.
I would like to know that.
18 fun things for kids that were actually created. Yeah, like they didn't even get a 100,000 view video.
Wow.
And then their second video, 5 types of headaches and how to get rid of them. Like this is an old content. I bet you could remake this video into like something that's more relevant and current, and maybe do like just a different variation of the thumbnail. You'd probably be able to get the same result as long as like 20 other people didn't do the same thing.
They started out knowing what they were doing. Like every single one of their videos, like even in the beginning, was real. It's like really, really good.
Yeah, I think their first channel was this.
Yeah, I was about to say. I wonder if like whoever did this channel, they had another channel before. It's 5 Minute Crafts, right? Because that's not the same one.
Yeah. This one, they had this video with like 280 million views.
That's crazy. Let's analyze that. Why do you think that went viral?
That one I don't know, but this one I can tell because it's just like this was at the start of like the DIY stuff, and this just looks like some sort of like weird wacky hack. Like, how would this be beneficial in any way, shape, or form? But it's like it's a very clickable. It's a very like obvious as to what's going on. It's a balloon and toothpaste. Like those shouldn't go together, but like, they're going together.
What happens? Like, it's curiosity. Like, what happened if you put like toothpaste in a balloon? And it says funny hacks. Like, I'm like actually curious. I really want to know that. I'll have to watch that later. But like, also, dude, I'm actually really, really fascinated, Devin, with the one they had that has like over 200 million. Why did that go viral? Because this is one of the first times I'm looking at something. I have no clue why that went viral.
Like, yeah, me too. So this is a good thing, honestly. So 42 Holy Grail hacks. Yeah, I mean the title is really creative for sure. It's a very clickable title that will save you a fortune. Yeah, I think it's because it doesn't make any sense. I think that's what it is.
It's like, and also I think one thing is when a video has 100 million views and has that thumbnail and title, and you're confused, like that's probably how they started getting more and more. Like when you're that big, it continues just like.
I think it's just because it's a really weird and confusing thumbnail. Like this literally makes no sense. Like how does this turn into this? And I think that's the point.
The fact that we're fixated on like what that is like probably why that one worked.
I think so because it has nothing like it's yeah.
And another thing,
that's my curiosity. Like I want to watch this video, see what it's about, to see why it got 300 million views.
When we turn off the camera, we'll watch it, bro. We'll just go binge 5 Minute Crafts. And see, guys, that is why they're a huge channel, because they literally have us wanting to watch their videos. Like, that's the goal. Like, you want people to where they can't go to your channel just to, like, look at it. They have to watch videos when they're there, because you don't just create thumbnails and titles that make people want to watch. You create thumbnails and titles that people have to watch, that they have to click on. And that literally is just like, you know what? I'll click on this real quick. Because I have no intention on the 42 Holy Grail hacks that will save you a fortune. I have no intention to watch all 18 minutes. The only thing I want to know is what that thumbnail is. But I guarantee you somehow they would hook me into watching all 18 minutes because of that. So, like, that's what you want. You want people just, like, looking at your thumbnail title saying, let me click on it. I wonder what that is. And they click on it real, real fast. Just thinking they're going to be on it for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and then they watch the entire thing. That's really what we want. And another thing I noticed about this, too, like, I'm analyzing this, all of their titles, like, of their most popular videos are all caps. So, like, if I'm in a life hack niche, I'm probably going to sit there and be like, that's kind of interesting. Like, if every one of their titles are all caps, then I should probably do the same thing if I'm in the life hack niche. Or at least I should test that. I should test all caps and not all caps and see which one works best. But I like, see, It's the attention to detail. It's looking at every single reason why it could work. Like I would look at that and I would say, okay, the 16 funny hacks that work magic. It's the toothpaste going into balloon. Well, that's one thing. But another thing I would also analyze is that it's yellow and blue. So I would analyze it as blue. So
they're really good at colors on this channel. They're able to get like a very like attention grabbing colors. Like yellow and blue is very contrasting. Like that's why like a lot of brands are like orange and blue, because it's like those two colors they really shouldn't belong together, but when they're combined, they really stand out from each other. They're no way simple. Like if this was like orange and red, like the red background was red and the balloon was orange, like it wouldn't have been very clickable. So just the basics of the colors and everything. This is something I keep into consideration. Like if I'm doing blue,
white balloon and a black background,
yellow or something like very contrasting.
Yeah, if it was a white balloon and a black background, it could literally have shaved off 90 million of those views. Like not even kidding. Like actually way even more potentially. Like literally it could be not even the thumbnail is that great, but the coloring's that great. That's when you want to look at attention to detail. Like the 23 smart life hacks for every occasion. Like if I'm in this niche, I'm sitting there saying, why did this work? It's because once again, probably a lot of people have Gillette and a lot of people have stains. And they're like, wait a second, Gillette can remove stains? Like I'm curious, like that seems like good. And
I kind of want to try spraying Gillette on all my stains now.
Yeah, I want to try that. And then also it's like, wait, that's just one of the life hacks. I wonder what the other 22 are, right? So like, it's such a science. That's why you need to scroll through YouTube and get to a place where you understand. Like, there's literally, it's so rare that Devin and I have come across a title and thumbnail that we don't know why people clicked on it. Like, you can tell. And like and also another thing you notice, a lot of their most viral stuff look the exact same. There's before and after photos, or there's someone using a product that someone already has, and then with a problem that someone already has. Those are like the two main things I know.
Or they're combining those two things.
Yeah, that's what
like,
I mean.
For example, these headphones. Like everyone has headphones, and yeah.
Well, everyone has headphones, and everyone puts them in like this. So like every single thing you're seeing, you notice it's counterintuitive to what you would currently do. Like
yeah. It's like
LED on. You know, if I'm like wearing my headphones, I've never worn it like that in my life. But apparently that's the way I'm supposed to do it because they have a green check mark. And now I'm questioning how I've worn headphones my entire 18 years of living, right? So like, that's why people clicked on that video. So one channel I want to go and look through, because honestly, out of every single person with titles and thumbnails, I personally think they're probably the best in the game, which is Mr. Beast. Let's just look over that. I've already kind of analyzed that a little bit throughout the masterclass, but I want to go through Mr. Beast's channel and just kind of look at this real fast.
Yeah. Mr. Beast honestly is where I get a lot of my inspiration for a lot of my at least content in general, because he's checking off like every single box on the list that's important to go viral. And the one thing that I think really stands out with Mr. Beast is he understands the line to draw with clickbait and what's actually inside the videos. And what he does is if he does clickbait, he just has to fulfill that clickbait inside the videos. So he comes up with the clickbait before he even records the video. And then he makes the video around that idea.
Like even look at Lamborghini race, winner keeps Lamborghini, because we actually did this together the other day.
Yeah, so this is what the thumbnail, blue, red, yellow Lamborghini. But if you click inside the video, they have a blue Lamborghini, but it definitely wasn't that blue, and they don't have a yellow or red Lamborghini for sure. I mean, they still have Lamborghinis, but they definitely photoshopped. They fabricated the thumbnail to look good. Like they shot the thumbnail first too. But yeah, they made it as clickbait as possible with what they had available to them.
See, that's and you notice that thumbnail. Can you actually zoom up in it real quick? Think about all the strategy that goes in that thumbnail. Number one, it's a picture of Mr. Beast's face, who people are familiar with. Number two, he looks like it grabs your attention. If he was just staring at the camera, it wouldn't grab your attention, but it grabs your attention. His hand is extended towards the main part of the video, which is Lamborghinis.
Yeah, it's trying to get in your eye to look at the Lambos.
Yeah, plus Lambos are already super clickable things. Like almost every video with Lambos in it goes viral. Not to mention, he has 3 Lamborghinis in there. So anytime you have 3 Lamborghinis, people are going to click, what is this? Then he changed the color so it didn't look dull, but it popped out and grabs you. That's the goal. You got to pass the scroll check. When people are scrolling through YouTube, you want them to literally stop on your video. And even if they don't click, step one is make them at least look at what you're producing and then make them want to click because of the angle. So that's really what a thumbnail is mainly there for. The thumbnail is there first to get them to stop, and Mr. Beast knows that. That's why he made it super, super colorful. And then number 2, it's to get them to click. And that's why there's 3 of them in there, as well as the angle itself is probably the main reason why people clicked, because they see like, what is this? There's 3 Lamborghinis, picture of Mr. Beast. And then they read the title, which is the angle, and the angle says Lamborghini race, winner keeps Lamborghini. Dude, that video is almost impossible not to click on. Like, I mean, it's an absolute masterpiece. Not to mention that there's 3 people in there. Like, I guarantee you if it was just a photo with Mr. Beast, his hand extended in the Lamborghinis, it would have done great for sure, because, I mean, it's a fantastic thumbnail and angle. But the fact there's 3 of his friends that all have their hands out, which once again is grabbing more attention, and the fact that they're all like in the driver's seat, it looks like they're about to race. And then there's even like the start line. Actually, I'm curious, is that line there in the actual video? I think it.
Oh yeah, it is. They didn't Photoshop that part.
But see, still, like even if that wasn't there, it would have been smart to put that in there, because it looks like the start of a race. And like,
yeah. This picture overall, it's just like very loud, attracting a lot of attention to it. And if this was surrounded by like 5 other thumbnails that were just like doing meh, this video would win every time. Everyone would click this thumbnail versus every other thumbnail that would ever play next to it.
Absolutely. Every single time. So guys, like, dude, listen, Devin, we can literally all day go through thumbnails, because number 1, it's fun, and number 2, there's so much to learn. But the main takeaway we really want you guys to have with all of this, and the one thing that Devin and I do a lot, is I want you guys to start scrolling through YouTube and just analyze it. Not scrolling through YouTube out of entertainment, but literally doing it for education. Because like I said before, with YouTube, the more you learn, the more you really do earn. If you watch that thumbnail, like that one thumbnail that Mr. Beast posted could be worth an extra $25,000 to a YouTuber, because that sparks in their mind one extra thing to add into a video, and that video gets 7 times the views. So like scrolling through YouTube and starting to learn this to where you start to understand virality. You literally are able to look at videos and tell if it's going to go viral or if it's not, and explain why it went viral or why it didn't go viral. Like let's finish off the video with this. Let's find videos that didn't go viral, and let's just analyze why they did and what we might have done to make them go viral. I'm actually curious, because it's one thing to look at what works, but also I feel like there's also value in looking at like what doesn't work. And obviously, you're not gonna have a lot of recommended videos that don't work, because they're recommended for a reason, but still, I'm sure we can find some.
Yeah. They're gonna be like super niche specific to this channel, if anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll find some stuff. Here we go. 4K views. Star Citizen, Ask Me Anything, It's My Birthday, and Waiting on. Yeah,
see, like that makes sense why that didn't go viral. Like, first of all, it's an hour and 40 minutes. That's crazy. I don't even know what that is. But like the thumbnail itself, it didn't like grab me. And like the reason it doesn't have a terrible amount of views, like it obviously is not going viral in any way, shape, or form. It's probably because I assume like Star Citizen is some sort of video game or something.
No, I think it's because this guy has a lot of subscribers. He's verified, so that means he has at least 100,000.
Oh, really?
I think the only reason this video got views is because this guy has, let's say, like I'm gonna say 1 million subscribers. Let's see. 140K. But yeah, the only reason he got 4,000 views was because his video, like, he's got 100,000 subscribers. I think that's the only reason why people watch that content.
And like also like he said it's my birthday, and like I love the dude. I think he's a great guy. Like I'm not saying anything wrong with him, but at the same time, no one cares it's his birthday. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't even care like when it's celebrities' birthdays, let alone some random YouTubers. Like you're not gonna get millions of views because you say it's my birthday in the title. Like that's not gonna get attention.
Now, if I were to redo this is what I would do. I would say like spending $100,000 on Star Citizen for my birthday. Or something like that.
See,
yeah, so something where it's like some sort of like you're doing something crazy for your birthday.
Yeah.
And the birthday is just the excuse for the video.
See, bro, that's why like you understand virality, bro. You literally get it. Like that's the thing. You can take any video and like turn it into something viral just by flipping the angle. And like if in the thumbnail it was like a picture of him with like cash or something, and then like that exact same thing, literally, but just him in the left corner, that video would go way more viral. Even though like obviously you need to sit there and think about it, even a better thumbnail than that. But that was all you changed. You just added that as the title, and you had a picture of him holding cash, and then that exact same.
Yeah, or a Star Citizen character holding cash. Like
that would work. I mean, that would work just well. In fact, that could work more. Or like him and Star Citizen. Like you just go him on Photoshop, a picture of him with his arm around a Star Citizen character, and then them holding cash. That would go viral, guaranteed, bro. Guaranteed. Yeah. Like, it's gonna go viral. So like
that'd be a million view video no matter what. I think if you were to spend like let's say $10,000, like something a little bit more affordable, or like even $1,000, even $1,000, I think would be able to be.
And see, that's the thing though, is like people, they just produce videos. The goal isn't to upload videos. The goal is to upload viral videos. And one of the most valuable things you can do is number one, learn YouTube, and then number two It's to be thinking about the actual angle, to be thinking about the thumbnail. Like one of the most valuable actions you can do is literally just sit there and say, how can I make this video even better? I mean, me and Devin literally sat here after 20 seconds of looking at that thumbnail and at that title and figured out a way to take that video from 4,000 views to a potential 1 million views. So imagine you do that for every single video. You just sat there, took all the previous knowledge you've learned from the YTA Masterclass, took all of the patterns you've recognized from scrolling YouTube and analyzing titles and thumbnails, and you literally just ask yourself, what's a video I could create that would go viral? And once again, not a video like what's a video that you could create that that you know how to create, that would be easy to create. But you literally let go of all boundaries and you literally just say, what would be a video that would be guaranteed to go viral? And maybe you say, giving $1 million to a Star Citizen person, to a Star Citizen like character, like something like that. Well, then you could sit there and say, well, I can't give away 1 million, but I can maybe give away 1,000, right? Like then you figure out how to make it work. And like if you come up with a crazy thumbnail, like it would seem like this dude, because it's his birthday, he's a real human being, and the Star Citizen is like some game or something. There's no way there could be a picture of him in that game. But the possibilities behind the click are endless. You could literally make that if you wanted to, just by creating it in Photoshop. So like it's coming up with things that are guaranteed to go viral and then creating those versus creating videos and saying, how can I make this go viral? And that's the thing that a lot of people get wrong.
Yeah, I think people create the content too often before they create the idea.
Yeah, that's a big thing we talk about in the masterclass. This is the truth, bro. So then, bro, this is honestly really, really good stuff. Like I said, we could literally do this for hours on hours on hours. Bro, is there anything final you want to go and say before we go ahead and log off from this video?
Yeah. It's just like there really is no like specific amount of time you need to put into this. It's really just it's very much so just like this is like almost like the newspaper for me. Like every day, like how people used to like look at the newspaper every morning. Instead of me looking at the newspaper to understand what's going on in the world, I look at YouTube's homepage to understand what's going on in the world of YouTube.
Dude, that's it, bro. Like once again, like one thing we talk about inside the Maximum Wage Mentality, which by the way, if you guys haven't seen the Maximum Wage Mentality, make sure to go ahead and watch that. Like all the videos that me and my business partner Ryan filmed, they're unbelievable. One of the things we talk about is how inputs create outputs. And if you want the output of being a YouTuber or a YouTube automator, because it's even better, that has millions and millions of views, well, then you need the inputs of being on YouTube. The same way a baseball player is not going to get paid $10 million a year to play baseball and hit home runs left and right unless, number one, they've watched a lot of baseball, and number two, they've played a lot of baseball. So YouTube is now your game, and what you need to do is scroll through YouTube, number one, so you're consuming the game, so you're understanding the game, so you're analyzing the game, so you're seeing what's working for other hitters and for other fielders, etc., using that analogy. And then number two, you need to be getting in the game and playing it. Once again, you guys have an insane advantage because you're part of the YTA Masterclass, but don't let your education stop here. Don't let your learning stop here. Rather allow the YTA Masterclass to be your foundation, and then you go out and learn YouTube and obsess YouTube and scroll YouTube and analyze, because once again, the more you learn, the more you earn. And don't forget, you are just one video away.